Yes. Good afternoon, dear students. Myself, CS Megha Goyal. Today is the second series of clause. Okay. As we have undertaken this session on success at series 1 in the August month, now you are having exams starting from 16th September from accounts, then your business law paper is on 18th September. Okay, so all of you, I am assuming that all of you have completed the study material as well as revision minimum 2-3 times and practicing the questions as well, as because law is a theoretical paper, so you know how to present the answers. Many a times we have discussed that law paper presentation matters a most. Okay, so we during the LVC class, during the webinars, during the BOS session 1, we have undertaken so many questions, be it application oriented, be it theoretical in nature. You have practiced a lot of questions. So during this 10 to 12 days left period with you for going, your exams going to start on 16 September, just do not any new topic, do not undertake a new topic. All the thing you have completed in the study material, revise only that portion related to all the four papers, and practice as many as you can the questions of accounts, be it business law, QT, and economics. Okay, be confident that and relax, do not panic, you will surely clear your foundation exams in September 2025. Okay, so do not fear this in your mind that what about the examination, how the paper will come, whether I will be able to complete the paper in 3 hours. We have shared a lot of tips with you, lot of strategies with you. We have done a lot of effort. Okay, the LVC faculties, the BOS faculties. Now the time is for you. This is the last interaction with us for the with the students relating to paper 2. Now you are going to go for the paper on 16 September and 18 September, and vice versa. The days are with you. Okay, so you have completed the study material, you have practiced the questions. So if any student is having any particular query, they can chat me, write to me. And I am assuming that all of you have attended the BOS session 1 also. If any of one you have not attended, please reply me in the chat box. Please write to me if any of one have not attended the Success at CA examination series 1. Or if you have attended, please write yes. Nobody's writing. Chat is enabled. Please write. Khwaish Goyal, Abhishek, Akshit, Omkar, Sayak, Bindya. Some students are there. Please write to me. Yes, Bindya is writing attended, ma'am. Khushi, Khwahish, not attended. Okay. So those students who have not attended the session, the previous session, I am just revising, I am just summarizing you the brief which I have undertaken in the series 1. Okay, so the students who have not undertaken, they can utilize this. Very briefly, I will take 10 to 15 minute time for this, and then we will do the question part. We will do so many questions during this time, so that, and I will ask you the question also. Okay, so just ready with your answers. Yes, syllabus, all of you are knowing that chapter 1 is Indian regulatory framework. The one question will come that will be 6 to 7 marks. And from this, if we see the latest trend from May 2024, the past year trend for this paper, for this chapter, the 6 to 7 marks question come from this chapter. Okay, and the question is direct in nature, like what are the ministries, how the law is framed, how the law is processed, and how the law is implemented in the country. Okay, what are the sources of law? All these type of questions are coming from this chapter. So revise it thoroughly. This chapter you have to memorize because this is the theoretical chapter. No application and oriented question will be asked, only direct based theoretical knowledge question will be asked from this chapter. Many students might be thinking that whether to skip this chapter. अगर आपने अभी भी नहीं पढ़ा है तो this is the very scoring 6 to 7 marks. It's very easy. Just read it and revise it. Abhishek is also writing not attended. Sandeep, good afternoon, ma'am. Yes. So just listen to me for 10 to 15 minutes, then we will do the practice part. Okay. Now moving to chapter 2, that is Indian Contract Act 1872. This is comprising of 9 units. When 2-3 times I have received a query that whether we can skip the chapter 2. No, dear students, you cannot skip the chapter 2. अभी तक तो आपने सभी chapter 2 पढ़ लिया होगा. Is from this chapter around 30 to 32 marks questions come from this chapter. Okay, and both types of questions, be it direct theoretical, be it application oriented, both types of questions come from this chapter. Okay, it can come from the any unit, be it consideration, essential elements, performance, discharge, breach, and your contingent and quasi, be it your special contract. Some students are having phobia with respect to special contracts. Better these 3 units, special contracts, that is bailment and pledge, indemnity and guarantee, and your agency, is very easy. Just read it. Okay. And now the time is for revision. Just 10 to 12 days are with you. Revise the study material. You do not have to skip the study material. अभी भी आपको 10 to 12 days में along with the practice part, just focus more on the study material. Okay, जितना आप focus रखोगे, that will be beneficial for you. Nowadays ना examinations are coming. Some people like we also were the students at our time, that is the phobia that ma'am मैंने याद कर लिया, I have remembered, but I have a fear in my mind that I am forgetting the provisions. Okay, so this is the fear factor for all the students. Do not मतलब इस fear factor को आप उसको बढ़ाए ना. Just keep in this mind that all that you are revising in the study material, all you are reading in the study material, that automatically will come in your mind during the examinations. Okay, ये हमारा fear factor होता है when while going in the examination, before the examination center, we are reading the book and we are imagining, we are thinking that we have lost the study, we have lost the provisions, we have not remembered anything. But it is 101% sure that once you get the question paper, whatever you have read thoroughly, it will come automatically in your mind. You will able to write if you have practiced properly, if you have read the study material thoroughly. Okay, so do not think that I am forgetting the provisions. Just read and revise and remain focused. Okay. Yes, the sales of good debts is chapter 3. It comprises of 4 units. Okay, and around 20 to 25 marks of questions, 3 or 4 questions come from this chapter. Say around 4 questions come from this chapter, and both types of questions. Okay, so read it properly. Do the lot of questions from this chapter also, because this is a very important chapter, and very simple questions come from this chapter. Okay, you have to read the study material. Okay, then chapter 4 is your Indian Partnership Act 1932. Around same 3 or 4 questions come, 6 to 7 marks each, around 20 to 22 marks, and both types of questions come from this chapter. The limited liability partnership, this is a very small chapter, and the only one question come from this chapter, that is of 6 to 7 marks and direct theoretical. Okay, so read it properly. This is the base for your intermediate. Now we are clearing our foundation exam in September 2025. Now in 2026, we have to give our intermediate. Group 1, paper 2 is there, in which the Limited Liability Partnership Act as well as the Companies Act is covered. And here the introduction is given, foundation is given. Here you will, there intermediate, you will read further from these both chapters. Okay. Any query you are having, you can write to me meanwhile. Now the last chapter is Negotiable Instrument Act. Two questions come. One is direct theoretical and one is application oriented. Read it properly because this is some little bit technical. As students say that knowledge is tough, but according to me, if you ask, this is very interesting chapter, and this is the recent chapter, new chapter, and one question is direct theoretical, so you have to memorize this chapter also. Okay, inland instrument, foreign instrument, promissory note, bill of exchange, check, these type of questions come in theoretical part. Okay, so all these are very important. This paper is KNC, A and KNC, both types of questions, A, KNC, A, KNC. ये आपका जो पास्ट ट्रेंड चल रहा है, if we are looking at the past year paper, KNC, this A plus KNC and this both mixture. Okay, so this is the pattern. Yes. Object of scheduling this webinar, yes, focus on presentation. We will do a lot of practice today of the questions. So if any student has not seen that how to write the answers, now you will improve the presentation. Okay, so you will get an idea that how the answers is to be prepared. You have read so many, you have practiced a lot of questions, but there is always a scope for improvement. So the focus will be on presentation of questions and answers. Exam strategy, if any student has not attended the session, I will brief the exam strategy also. Solving of questions, common issues, yes, common issues are very important. Students many a times do a common mistake, है ना, कि ma'am I will discuss, and motivate from better to best. Yes, law marking pattern sequence. This is the very important, that stepwise marking. Abhi bhi, in the morning, I received a query that ma'am whether the stepwise marking is there in the law paper and how the marks are awarded for each question. Okay, I will take this query. Just a second, I have received a query. Yes. Like for example, if you are having a question of 6 to 7 marks, okay, so all of you are aware that we have to write the legal provision first, okay, then in the second you have to write the facts in the very brief manner, and in the third last paragraph you have to analyze the legal provision with the facts of the question and you have to conclude your answer. So in this manner stepwise marking is there. There are different 3 to 4 paragraphs. Okay, so for 3 to 4 paragraphs, all paragraphs are having marks. So we have to identify the legal provision, that you are reading the question, you have read the question paper. Now, after reading the question, you will come to an idea that this question belongs to which act, because act name is written in the question itself. So आपको ये दिमाग में लगाना कि whether it is of sales of goods act, whether it is of contract, because minor confusion might be there between the sales of goods act and your contract act. Baki partnership is different, LLP is different, companies is different. Minor confusion can come while attempting the questions if the act is not. That's why the name of the act is written in the questions. Okay, so we have to identify. Once you will read the question paper, now you will read the question, you will come to an idea that yes, this legal provision we have to write. Analyze legal issue. What is the legal issue? What is the case is given in the question? Then apply the law to the given solution and conclude your answer. So in the first paragraph, you have to write the legal provision. Okay, if the question is based on associate companies act, okay, like for example some company is given and the holding is 15%, so the question is asking whether this company is an associate company. So first of all, after looking at the question, you will get an idea that question is being asked with respect to associate company. So you will write the provision as covered under section 2 subclause 6 of the Companies Act 2013, that this is the provision. The students which have attended the series 1, they can also watch this series 2, because I am just revising what I have undertaken in series 1, because it will be beneficial for you. It again will be recapitulate in your mind. पूजा इज आस्किंग मैम, मैंने नोट नहीं बनाए हैं, टाइम बहुत कम है, इसलिए टू डायरेक्ट बुक से रीड कर सकते हैं? यस बेटा, डायरेक्ट बुक से रीड नहीं, अब तो रिवाइज करना है. दिस इज द टाइम फॉर रिविजन. नोट्स के लिए मैंने कभी भी, आई हैव नेवर इंडोर्स्ड, आई हैव नेवर टोल्ड यू टू मेक द नोट्स, बिकॉज सारांश इज अवेलेबल. ऑल ऑफ you must have gone through the saransh, and the BoS knowledge portal contains so many notes and assignments which the LVC faculties have provided. Okay, so there is no need to make notes. If any student wants to make, they can make, but now the time is not there to make the notes. Just whatever is covered in the study material, read and revise. Okay, Pooja? Yes. Coming back to stepwise marking, first you have to write the legal provision. We were on associate company, so we have to write that section 2, subclause 6 of the Companies Act. We wrote the legal provision, that associate company का क्या कहता है. Then we will discuss there that yes, this company holding is this and the other company is holding this, so whatever is the case. In the last, we will interrelate, we will analyze, we will mix the provision para 1 and para 2 and conclude our answer. Like for example, XYZ is being asked ki XYZ, the shareholding is more than 20%, and we will define what is the significant influence in that. All of you must be aware that what is significant influence. 20% शेयर होल्डिंग होना चाहिए, आपका वोटिंग पावर होना चाहिए आपकी कंपनी के अंदर. सो यू विल राइट दैट यस, XYZ इज अ associate company or XYZ is not an associate company, whatever be the case. So 3 marks, if the question is of 6 to 7 marks, so around 2 to 3 marks will be there for the section 2 subclause 6 of the Companies Act. अब मेरे से बच्चे पूछेंगे कि आपको पता होगा कि सेक्शन लिखना is not compulsory. You can directly ask, you can directly write that as per the provisions of the Companies Act, associate company means. Okay, then 2-3 marks will be there for legal provision. Then second paragraph, and at the last, the third paragraph is the most important because you have done the analysis part and you have written the answer also. So that is the main part along with the legal provision. So marks are divided differently. 2 marks will be this, 2 marks will be this, 3 marks for this. If any of you has not concluded the answer correctly, not a problem, you will get an marks if you have written the legal provision properly. If you have done the analysis but you have not concluded, that out of 7 or 6 the question is, you will easily get 5 marks. Okay, if you have written properly the answer in the proper presentation, the facts are correct. Yes, Khwahish is asking, beta, you meanwhile you can ask me your queries because time is very short. You can ask your query specific doubts if you are having. I will surely reply you. Along with the PPTs and MCQs, my main focus is on solving your queries. If you are having any specific doubt. Compulsory to write the same legal language for provision as written the study material. No, beta, it is not necessary to write in the same legal language because it is very difficult to write. This is the language of the act. But after reading, after revising 2-3 times, it will automatically inculcate in your habit, in your mind, okay, in your habit that how to write the answers. The language should be legal, not as per the study material, not as per the BEAR Act, but if you read the study material, if you practice the questions, you will get an idea. Automatically आपके mind में, आपके hand में, आपकी पूरी body में वो legal language आ जाएगी कि yes, I have to write like this manner. तो उसमें लिख कर आइए लीगल लैंग्वेज क्या होती है. जैसे आपने एसोसिएट कंपनी का मैंने एग्जांपल दिया, तो आपकी होल्डिंग ऑफ वोटिंग पावर, सिग्निफिकेंट इन्फ्लुएंस 20% और मोर, आपका कहाँ कहाँ पे एसोसिएट कंपनी का नहीं लगता. दीज ऑल आर एग्जांपल्स ऑफ लीगल लैंग्वेज. कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 सेक्शन 2 सब क्लॉज 6, this is legal language, so you can write in your own language, but the language you are writing, the legal points, key notes, key terms you are writing, that should be correct and proper. Okay, Khwahish? Okay, सो स्टेप वाइज मार्किंग वी हैव डन दैट यू हैव टू राइट प्रॉपरली. आपने अगर कंक्लूड नहीं किया तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, प्रोविजन लिख कर आइए, उसके बाद उसको एनालिसिस कीजिए. यस, रिवीजन सोर्सेज, ये आप सबने अभी तक रिवाइज कर लिया होगा. मुझे प्लीज लिख के बताइए कि आप में से किस किस बच्चे ने क्या क्या रेफर किया है. प्लीज राइट. बहुत ही कम बच्चे हैं तो हम आराम से इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं, देयर इज नो इश्यू. ख्वाहिश, प्लीज राइट whether your study material is complete and what from these sources what you have completed and what you have not. How is your preparation? Please write to me. Abhishek, Akshit, Omkar, Pooja, Pindya, please write to me. I am waiting for your response. I am giving you 2 minutes. मैम MTP 1 में शायद लास्ट क्वेश्चन था जिसमें एक्ट का नाम नहीं दिया था, तो उसमें कंफ्यूजन हो गया था. इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है या सेल्स ऑफ गुड्स एक्ट. बेटा मोस्टली लिखा हुआ होता है, अदरवाइज आपको आई कैन गारंटी दैट इफ द नेम ऑफ द एक्ट इज नॉट रिटर्न आपको कंफ्यूजन नहीं होगा इफ यू हैव रीड द क्वेश्चंस प्रॉपर्ली, इफ यू हैव रीड द स्टडी मटेरियल प्रॉपर्ली. मॉड्यूल कंप्लीट है पूजा, MTP सॉल्व किया है और अब सारांश भी थोड़ा बचा है. ओके, MTP सॉल्व किए. व्हाट अबाउट RTPs इन लास्ट ईयर सजेस्टेड आंसर्स बेटा? If you have not completed, just refer the suggested answers also. This RTPs and suggested is very important. अभी भी टाइम है, 10 to 12 days टाइम है. अगर आपका प्रॉपरली, if you have revised the study material thoroughly, along with the study material, please refer 1 or 2 suggested answers also. Okay, Pooja? Yes, Khwahish. MTP LVC is complete. Khwahish, what about the study material? You have not written about it. अभिषेक इज राइटिंग मैम इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एजेंसी इज नॉट क्लियर. बेटा एजेंसी में क्या होता है कि आपका एक पर्सन ने, वी हैव अपॉइंटेड समवन दैट हमारा काम वी आर नॉट एबल टू डू. जैसे अभी राइट नाउ इफ आई यू आस्क मी आई वांट टू सेल माय हाउस बट आई एम इन ऑफिस, so I will appoint some broker or some my agent that you will do the deal and I will come and will sign. So this is the agency. If you have not understanding it clearly, just don't take so much time. Just see the LVC recorded lecture of sif particular this topic and do it, because I will not advise you to skip this chapter because one question comes from the Indian Contract Act that is also in compulsory question. और बाय चांस वो एजेंसी का हुआ तो इट विल बी वेरी डेंजरस ना. ओके, सो LVC देखो, रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर देखो, उसको क्विक पे चलाओ यूट्यूब पे जाके और उसको समझो. ओके अभिषेक, गॉट माय आंसर? Yes, Khwahish is writing. Study material is also complete. Khwahish, just do the RTP and suggested answers also. Okay? Bindya is writing study material, RTP, MTP is completed. Very good. Saransh, MTP booklet. Less part is remaining. Very good, Bindya. Very good. Just do the suggested answer also, because suggested answers are the past attempt question and answers. So it will be very beneficial. Do not skip a single thing if you have time. Okay? It's up to you. All decisions you have to take. अगर आपको लगता है कि you have to focus more on the study material, you can do that part. But अगर आपको लगता है कि आप 2-3 times study material कर चुके हो, then you can focus more on the practice part. Okay. Now coming to our revisions. Many of you have completed the study material. Okay. Saransh, many of you have undertaken, completed. Some chapters are left. So not an issue. Okay. Akshit is writing, ma'am, I have revised book, other reference books. Okay. But Akshit, just do all the, अगर practice part आपको करना है, तो just RTPs, MTPs थोड़े से देख लीजिए. Some practice questions. Okay. RTPs you have to do मॉडल टेस्ट बुकलेट में दिस कंप्राइज ऑफ 10 मॉडल टेस्ट पेपर्स. ओके, सजेस्टेड आंसर्स आई टोल्ड यू, मिनिमम 2 सजेस्टेड आंसर्स आप देखिए. इससे क्या होगा कि व्हेन यू प्रैक्टिस द सजेस्टेड आंसर ना इन द एग्जामिनेशन आवर 3 आवर्स में, तो आपकी एक तो राइटिंग स्पीड, बिकॉज 3 आवर्स में लिखना कंटिन्यूएशन में इट इज कभी कभी हमारे लिए ज्यादा हो जाता है, तो आप इसकी राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस भी अच्छी हो जाएगी और मे बी सम सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कम इन योर एग्जामिनेशन. MTP2 सीरीज अभी भी सेकंड सीरीज आपने दी है और वी विल डिस्कस इट टुडे आल्सो. लाइव वर्चुअल क्लासेस लाइक Abhishek is writing that agency is not clear, so you can refer LVC classes recorded lectures. Yes, legal language, abhi somebody is asking, I think Pooja was asking that legal language कि क्या हम यूज कर सकते हैं. यस, लीगल, आपका लीगल टच होना चाहिए. इंश्योर आंसर्स आर लीगली साउंड एंड नॉट जेनरिक. जर्नल आंसर्स आपके नहीं होने चाहिए कि हम कुछ भी लिख कर आ गए. ओके, आपको लीगल टच होना चाहिए क्योंकि लीगल पेपर देने जा रहे हो आप. प्रॉपर फ्रेमिंग. ध्वनि, प्लीज राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स वॉट एवर यू आर क्वेरिंग. आई विल अलाउ यू वन बाय वन आफ्टर सम टाइम. Avoid verbatim reproduction and uses clear language. Essential elements includes necessary legal provisions without being excessive. आपको legal language लिखना है, but ये नहीं है कि आपने उसका subsection 1, subsection 2 भी लिख दिया. Just write what is relevant. Proper conclusion. Okay? So you have to write the proper conclusion also. तो legal language जो आपकी होनी चाहिए, उसके अंदर key terms होने चाहिए. सेक्शन नंबर अगर याद है तो यू कैन राइट द सेक्शन नंबर. आपको पूरा एक्ट का नाम लिखना है, द Indian Contract Act, comma 1872. Like the question, like the name of the act is given in the question now, so you have to write as per that. Yes, examinations, paper pattern आपको पता होगा. Question number 1 is compulsory and 5 में 6 में से आपको 2 to 6 में से आपको यानी 4 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं. रिमेनिंग 5 क्वेश्चंस जो बचे हुए हैं, तो इसकी चॉइस आपको केयरफुली करनी है. You have to choice, you have to analyze it properly. 15 minutes reading time is allocated to you. Okay, so utilize that part carefully. Yes, answer application oriented question. And yes, answer application oriented questions में I have told you in the stepwise marking. Relevant legal provision, facts of the case briefly analyze and correlate, and conclusion. This is the proper format. ये आप इसको माइंड में बिठा लीजिए. Just read it. Just make it a point that you have to write in this manner only. Okay? Yes, now I am not going to do this question. I have already undertaken it. But theoretical questions, yes, 2 types of questions come, application, but सारा फोकस हमें एप्लीकेशन पे नहीं रखना. वट एवर क्वेश्चन इज कमिंग इन योर MTP, सजेस्टेड RTP, प्रैक्टिस नॉलेज, डायरेक्ट थ्योरेटिकल क्वेश्चन है, उसको हमें रीड जरूर करना है. ये नहीं करना कि डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है तो मैं आई एम नॉट रीडिंग. जितनी बारी, एज सून एज मच यू आर रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन, रीडिंग द आंसर्स, it is good for you. Okay, it is inculcating, it is imbibing on your mind whatever is reading. So do not skip the direct theoretical question, practice also it, because nowadays na kya ho raha hai, students are focusing more on the application oriented questions, but memorizing, writing part the students are skipping. So whatever 10 to 12 days you are coming across the direct theoretical questions, do it, read it. I'm not saying write the questions. Okay, now this is not the time because time is very left. As much you can read, just read it. Okay, तो theoretical question जहां पे भी आए, whatever is MTP, whatever is RTP suggested, just read the answer. You will get an idea that heading we have to write, we have to divide in different bullet points or different paragraphs. Okay, एग्जाम्पल की अगर क्वेश्चन में पूछा गया है, वैसे क्वेश्चन कभी बहुत कम आता है कि एग्जाम्पल इज बीइंग आस्क्ड, बट अगर एग्जाम में पूछा गया कि प्लीज एनालाइज दिस क्वेश्चन, एक्सप्लेन दिस विद द हेल्प ऑफ एन एग्जाम्पल, यू कैन हैव टू राइट द एग्जाम्पल. एग्जाम्पल बनाना इज वेरी इजी. ब्रेक द आंसर इन डिफरेंट ब्रीफ पॉइंट्स और पैराग्राफ्स. ये नहीं है कि आपने ऊपर से लेके तक नीचे तक यू हैव राइट द आंसर. थोड़ा सा ब्रेक दो. जस्ट लीव अ लाइन, पैराग्राफ, सुंदर सुंदर बुलेट्स. ठीक है. Yes, effective time management. Yeah, this is the most important, and we are here for this. I'm just taking 2-3 minutes for this because if you are having any problem relating to this slide, you can come to me. Otherwise, I will explain this slide in 2-3 times. Then we will practice the questions, some questions. Yes. Now you are all aware that 15 minutes reading time is allocated to you. 15 minutes may how you will मोस्टली आपको जो यूटिलाइज करना है 15 मिनट्स का, यू हैव टू यूटिलाइज. देन हाउ यू विल यूटिलाइज, you have to divide the 15 minutes in 3 parts. First 5 minutes, second 5 minutes, second 5 minutes, and third 5 minutes. 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया हमने 15 मिनट्स को. Omkar, please write in the chat box whatever query you are having. Yes, first 5 minutes में you have to read all the questions to understand the scope. Okay, so first part हमने यहाँ लगा दिया, to read all the question paper. Just listen to me, Omkar. Maybe the color of this slide is less, but I am just giving you that first 15 minutes how to divide. First 5 minutes you have to read the questions, all the questions. Then second 5 minutes you are having a choice. Okay, first question is compulsory, वो छोड़ के नहीं आना. रिमेनिंग 5 क्वेश्चंस में से 4 क्वेश्चन करने हैं. कई बच्चे पता है मुझसे क्या पूछते हैं, somebody asked me कि मैम if I am having time, so whether I will complete all the questions, so what will be the examiner do? Examiner will give you marks only for first 5 answers. But how you will write all the 6 questions? It is very difficult. It is very difficult to complete the 5 questions. आप उस पर फोकस कीजिए ना. जस्ट फोकस ऑन द 5 क्वेश्चंस ओनली. 6 क्वेश्चन आपको क्यों करना है जो ऑप्शनल है? व्हाई? बिकॉज एग्जामिनर विल गिव यू द मार्क्स ओनली फॉर 5 क्वेश्चंस, नॉट फॉर द 6 क्वेश्चन. 6 जो भी आपको एक क्वेश्चन छोड़ना है, वेदर इट इज 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, एक क्वेश्चन आपको छोड़ सकते हो. यू कैन लीव 1 क्वेश्चन. सो प्लीज लीव 1 क्वेश्चन एंड रिमेनिंग फोकस just on the first 5 questions, whatever first question, and the remaining 4 questions. So the optional question which you are not going to do, just select in this 5 minutes. Okay, yes, if I am not comfortable in question number 5, मुझे लगता है कि question 5 के मुझे सारे सब parts नहीं आते, I am not able to answer all the sub parts, so I will calculate that yes, I am not going to do question number 5. Okay, then next 5 minutes में flow, I have to decide the flow also. Okay, कि which question I have to do first. आपको सबसे पहले वही क्वेश्चन करना है. You have to do that question only in which your command is 100%. You are 100% confident कि yes, this question is good. इसमें मुझे अच्छा मार्क्स मिल जाएगा, क्योंकि कहते हैं ना, फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन इज द लास्ट इंप्रेशन. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपको बहुत बढ़िया करना है, जिसको आपको, चाहे वो क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 हो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 में इफ यू आर 100% कॉन्फिडेंट, देन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. बट सब पार्ट्स जो होते हैं ए, बी, सी, इनका सीक्वेंस प्लीज डू नॉट चेंज. आंसर अकॉर्डिंगली ए, बी एंड सी. ओके, सो इफ ए, बी, सी का आप आंसर कीजिए. अगर बाई चांस आपको बी नहीं आता तो उसके लिए जस्ट लीव अ स्पेस फॉर 2 पेजेस. 2 पेजेस की स्पेस छोड़ दीजिए, आप उसको बाद में कंप्लीट कर दीजिए. कई बारी क्या होता है, बच्चे कहते हैं कि मैम मैं 100 मार्क्स, आई हैव कंप्लीटेड 80 मार्क्स पेपर बट आई स्कोर्ड 45. सोचो, अगर वो बच्चा 100 मार्क्स का कर आता तो ही कैन इजीली गेट 50 मार्क्स और ही कैन इजीली गेट 60 मार्क्स. Do not leave a single question, be it 6 marks, बी इट 3 मार्क्स, बी इट 4 मार्क्स, बी इट 2 मार्क्स, 2 मार्क्स का भी क्वेश्चन आ जाता है सब पार्ट्स के अंदर। ओके, सो कोई भी क्वेश्चन छोड़ के नहीं आना। अटेम्प्ट ऑल 100 मार्क्स पेपर, 120 का नहीं करके आना, ओनली 100 का। बट 90 नहीं होना चाहिए, इट शुड बी प्रॉपर 100। जब आप 100 का करके आओगे तो यू कैन इजीली क्लियर योर बिजनेस लॉ पेपर। ओके, सो मार्क्स आपने सिलेक्ट क्वेश्चन कर लिए, मार्क फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एलोकेट टाइम। यस, वन मोर थिंग, 2 बज गए, 2 o'clock इज देयर, ठीक है, यू आर स्टार्ट राइटिंग। जस्ट keep this thing in mind that by 4:30 you have to, within 2.2 and 2:30, 2 hours 30 minutes, you have to complete your paper, because target हमें कम का रखना पड़ेगा। If we are maintaining the target of 5 that we have completing, surely your 1 or 2 subparts you will lose, you will miss. So maintain the target that you will complete the paper in 4 by 4:30, so that if any question takes much time, more time, yes, 5 to 10 minutes मुझे इस पे ज्यादा लग गया, तो you can focus more on that question, and 10 to 15 minutes time should be there for your revisions. Okay, yes, some common issues I am just again revising. No generalized answer. Provision is a must. Omkar is writing paragraph question based answer. Writing time without use of provision or specific section. We write the answer is allowed in exam. Beta paragraph question based answer writing time without use. Just a second. Omkar, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tell me whatever you are having a doubt.
According to May 2025 exam, ma'am, they are paragraph-based questions. Uh, in the writing exam, we are allowed to, without section or specific provision, write the answer.
हाँ, अगर आपको प्रोविजन नहीं, प्रोविजन तो लिखना जरूरी है, प्रोविजन आपको लिखना जरूरी है, बट आप उसका सेक्शन नंबर मत लिखिए, पैराग्राफ्स में लिखिए, बुलेट्स में लिखिए। ओके, आपका ठीक है ओमकार? ओके, नो जनरल आंसर। ओके, एंड प्रोविजन इज अ मस्ट। अभी जैसे इसने पूछा ओमकार ने कि प्रोविजन लिखना, यस प्रोविजन लिखना जरूरी है। आप सिंपल पैराग्राफ में जनरल आंसर कैसे लिख के आओगे? ओके, आंसर शुड बी गिवन इन लेजिबल इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज, इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज शुड बी देयर। शॉर्ट हैंड नोट्स, डायग्राम्स में बी अवॉइडेड। कई बार क्या होता है ना, 10th एंड 12th में स्कूल इज टेलिंग कि यस प्रॉपर फ्लो चार्ट बना के आओ, आप स्मॉल में लिख के आओ, डायग्राम्स बना के आओ। नो, सीए एग्जाम में इट्स नॉट अलाउड। Common issues: avoid using short forms, WhatsApp language, not allowed. Abbreviation if we are using, like for example, we are using memorandum of association. So firstly, we have to write the full memorandum of association, then we can use the short form of it. Any mark for section number? How to write answer to score maximum marks? Section number, if you have remembered, write it. Otherwise, you can, अगर आपको लगता है कि if you are confused about the section number, you can skip the section number, but do not quote wrong section number. Okay, now we will do the practice of some questions. Yes. Like this is the mock MTP2. Okay, so MTP2, like same question paper pattern, 6 questions are there, 20 marks each, mixture of same pattern like KNC and application oriented, both types of questions are there. But while you are doing MTP suggested answers, just practice all the questions at home. I'm not telling about at in the examination. Examinations may you have to do any 5 questions, but whenever you are doing the MTPs or suggested at the home, just practice, just read all the questions. Okay? Yes. Tanisha purchased two flats in Ansal VVIP homes at Greater Noida. She has purchased two flats. Just a second. It is not working. Pen is not. Okay, let's see. Tanishka purchased two flats in Ansal VVIP's home at Greater Noida, one at Block A and another at Block D. She also entered in contract with Sakshi to let out the flat at B, Block D. Yes, now it's working. Two flats she has purchased. Yes, and one at Block A and one at Block D. She also entered in contract with Sakshi to let out the flat at Block D. If Block D, I will let out to Sakshi. And the side of the question paper you can do in the practice pencil. Block A, Block D. Just read the examination instructions carefully whether it is allowed to write in the examinations. Okay, in the question paper. But at the home, whenever you are doing the practice, you can do this thing. Block D, she has let out to Sakshi. So this is the case. At the time of entering into contract, both Tanishka and Sakshi were unaware that Block D is completely destroyed due to earthquake. Earthquake आया and Block D था वो destroy हो गया. Afterwards, knowing the fact, Sakshi requested to transfer the contract in favor of Block A. जहाँ पे उसका फ्लैट था ब्लॉक ए के लिए she was requesting in the light of provisions of the Indian Contract Act whether Tanishka is liable to hand over the possession of the flat in place of block D. देखिए यहाँ पे नेम ऑफ द एक्ट इज रिटन आपका टोटल 7 नंबर का क्वेश्चन होता है टू सब पार्ट्स हैव बीन आस्क्ड ए का फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड ओके ओमकार आई विल नॉट give the break because now the time is not there to give 5 minutes break just whatever I am teaching read it and we will conclude the class very shortly. अभिषेक इज राइटिंग मैम आंसर पॉइंट वाइज देना बेटर होगा या पैराग्राफ वाइज बेटा पैराग्राफ वाइज जो भी आपकी क्वेश्चंस की डिमांड है बी इट पॉइंट अगर जैसे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट इफ द क्वेश्चन इज बेस्ड ऑन डिफरेंट कैपिटल whatever capital is used in the companies act so different points are there differences are being asked difference between the partnership llp and the company llp versus partnership so you have to write you can make a tabular presentation of that as well so it depends okay कि whatever you can write according to आप इसके लिए आप do lot of practice read the questions you will automatically get an idea कि yes इसमें points लिखने हैं pointers लिखने हैं या फिर paragraph yes now tell me whether Tanisha is liable to hand over the possession of flat of block A in place of block D along with the little bit provision in one liner tell me the answer. Please don't refer the answers available at the BoS website. Yes, please write to me. Only one answer I have received of Sandeep. What about others? Pooja is written only no. What about the provision, beta? Pooja? Why no? Yes. Section 20. अगर if you have not remembered the section number, so skip it. Otherwise, write as Section 20 of the Indian Act provides. Otherwise, you can write like this: as per the according to the Section 20 of the Indian Contract Act, where both the parties to an agreement are under a mistake. As to a matter of fact, there is a bilateral mistake. In both the parties are at mistake because both the parties were unaware. In such a case, the agreement is void. Sandeep, answer is correct. Bilateral mistake may be as the quality, existence, identity, title, price, or quality of the quantity of the subject matter. Pooja is writing. Yes, Pooja, your answer is also correct. In the instant case, ये हमने देखिए. First of all, if the question is of 4 marks, okay, 4 marks का question है आपका. So, out of 4 marks, around 2 marks will be allocated for this provision. Section 20, you have written the legal provision. Then in the brief, you have discussed in the instant case. Yeah. Then here the matter discussed in the above problem is concerned with bilateral mistake. As in the case of bilateral mistake, contract is void. Both Tanishka and Sakshi are not bound with this contract, except Sakshi cannot demand the possession of flat at block A from Tanisha. Okay. So, आपका इस दोनों को मिला के 2 marks will be allocated for this. So out of 4, you will get 4 marks if you write as per this. Okay. Now, moving to question number 2. सब part आपको properly लिख कर आना है वहां पे answer 1A first, then answer जब आप second करोगे 1A second. Write properly. Mr. A, the employer, induced his employee B to sell his one-room flat to him at a less than the market value to secure promotion. Mr. B sold the flat to Mr. A. Later on, Mr. B changed his mind and decided to sue Mr. A. Examine the validity of the contract as per the provisions of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Now, tell me the answer for this. Yes, जैसे आपने फर्स्ट ए का बताया, इसका भी लिख के बताइए. 247 by 248, I have want the answers. Only one answer I have received. Yes. Yes. Khwahish and Bindia. Now we will see the answers. According to Section 16 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, a contract is said to be induced by undue influence, where the relations subsisting between the parties are such that in position to dominate the will of the other. Here the relationship is of employer and employee, so he can dominate and he uses the position to obtain an unfair advantage over the other. Okay. So when consent to an agreement is caused by undue influence, the contract is voidable at the option of the party whose consent was so caused. So here Mr. A and Mr. B is voidable. Contract जो हुआ था house का is voidable as it was induced by undue influence by Mr. A and therefore Mr. B can sue Mr. A. अगर voidable का मतलब जैसे अभी आपने it's a void ख्वाहिश it's not a void it's voidable. Voidable means Mr. B can sue can take the action, but if he is silent, the contract is valid. Okay, Khwahish? Yes. Pooja is right. Yes. Manjesh is also right. Okay. So, पता चला void नहीं voidable. ठीक है. एंड सेक्शन 16 आप लिख के रहिए. जैसे 3 मार्क्स का है ये टोटल, तो 3 मार्क्स में से 2 marks will be for provision. See the gravity, what I am saying again and again. And 1 mark for this answer. So you have to write the provision also, beta. Just do not write the general part only. Okay? One query I received, that associate company में 20% voting power. What includes voting power? बेटा 20 at least 20% आपको voting power होता है. Voting power includes only the equity share capital. But if the company is having preference share capital and that preference shares are having the voting rights, the same question limit, same type of questions I have made in this MTP also, I will discuss. But if the preference shares are holding the voting rights, then we can take the preference share also in the 20% holding. But if the question is not specifying anything, we will assume that preference shares, it is assumed because many a times the preference shares are not holding, shareholders are not holding any voting rights. So we will take equity shares in that point only. Okay. Now moving to question number 2. Yes. See, the question you are talking about now, क्या नाम था उस बच्चे का? कामत. कामत. Okay. Preference shares का question आ गया आपका. The paid-up share capital of Darshan Photographs Private Limited is 1 crore in the form of 50 crore equity shares and of rupees 100 each and 50,000 preference shares of 100 each. Preference shares are not having any voting rights. Here it is the MTP. So I have given this note, but in the examinations, maybe it is not given. So you have to assume, you can write the assumption also that preference shares are not having any voting rights. So Abhi, I am not telling you the answer. मैम 3 मार्क्स के लिए फैक्ट ऑफ द केस नहीं लिखना बेटा, लिख सकते हो बट वेरी शॉर्ट यू कैन राइट द आंसर, वेरी इजी, मतलब शॉर्ट में जस्ट 1 or 2 लाइनर. ओके. सो Shadow Evening Private Limited is holding 25,000 equity shares in Darshan Photographs Private Limited. See, Darshan की कैपिटल कितनी है? हाउ मच? 1 crore. ओके. 50 here equity, 50 preference. Shadow शेडो का कितना होल्डिंग है इसके अंदर? 25,000 शेयर्स. ओके. इक्विटी शेयर्स में 25,000 है. सो वेदर द शेडो लिमिटेड इज द होल्डिंग कंपनी और दर्शन इज सब्सिडियरी, और ठीक है. सो दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑफ 7 marks. सी दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. सो टेल मी फर्स्ट पार्ट ओनली, whether Darshan Photograph is subsidiary, yes or no? Write me the answer. I am giving you 1 minute. Dear students, so many students has written the correct answer. So we will discuss the answer here also. Yes. According to section 287, देखिए, see, we have to write the section 287 and 246 आपका होल्डिंग कंपनी का है. So you can write 287 सब्सिडरी कंपनी क्या होती है? Means a company in which the holding company controls the composition of the board of directors or exercises or control more than one half of the total voting power, either at its own or together with one of its subsidiary. More than one half here. Okay, more than one half means more than 50%. Simple. Okay. ये आपका प्रोविजन लिखना है कि आपका बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स की कंपोजिशन क्या कहती है. कंपनी इंक्लूड्स बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट. नाउ, सो दिस होल प्रोविजन आपका, इफ द क्वेश्चन इज ऑफ 7 मार्क्स, तो 3 अराउंड 3 मार्क्स का दिस होल प्रोविजन विल बी देयर. ओके, सो यू हैव टू राइट द प्रोविजन. In the instant case, Darshan Photograph Private Limited is having paid up share capital of 1 crore in the form of this. ये हमने वहां से लिया. क्यों हम ये क्यों लिखते हैं? ताकि उसको थोड़ा सा रिलेट कर सकें. हमने सीधा प्रोविजन लिख दिया और ये आंसर लिख दिया, तो हाउ कैन वी रिलेट द आंसर? Okay, so we have to relate, like on the basis of provision of 287 and facts of the given problem, Shadow Evening Private Limited is holding one half of total equity share capital of Darshan. As Darshan is cannot be taken, okay, so more than one half of voting honi chahiye, so Darshan Limited is not a subsidiary, cannot be taken as. Ye dekho. Now moving to second part of this question, whether your answer would be different in case Shadow Evening Private Limited is holding 25 equity shares and 5,000 preference shares. Yes. Answer would remain same if Shadow is holding 5,000 because they do not have voting rights. Preference shares को अगर हम ले भी लेते हैं, that also does not affect the answer because preference shares we have specifically written that preference shares are not having any voting rights. So answer will remain the same, that no subsidiary नहीं होगा. Okay? Yes, Bindia. Yes. Manjesh also correct answer. Yes, Vansh is also correct. All answers are correct. Dhwani, please write in the chat box. I will take your query later. Just write in the chat box. Now, two questions we have undertaken of A and A. Both questions are of A and A. Now, this question is direct theoretical, KNC. Explain the 5 essential elements of partnership under the Indian Partnership Act 1932. 5 essential elements आप मुझे बताओ, सिर्फ हेडिंग्स लिख के बताओ. Just write it fast. Please do not open your book. Open your mind and answer. 5 points एक साथ, अलग अलग नहीं. ख्वाहिश only one answer, 1 point I have received. संदीप के 2 आए हैं, 2 points only. What about others? Theoretical question नहीं आता. Write it fast, beta. Yes. Very good, Manjesh. Maryada, what you have written? Offer acceptance agreement, contract, free consent? No. Wrong answer, Betu. Yes. देखो, theoretical question is taking more time as compared to application oriented. Yes, Bindiya, correct. Now, we will read. We will not skip the answer. Many of you have given the correct answer, but instead of this, we will read the answer. Okay, just read it. The definition of partnership contains the following five elements which must coexist before a partnership can come into existence. Association of two or more persons. Okay. Partnership is an association of two or more persons. Again, only persons recognized by law can enter into agreement of partnership. This is the question of 6 marks. So pointers में लिखिए इसकी association of paper में उसको heading लिख कर आइए, underline कर दीजिए. Okay. A firm, since it is a not person or recognized, cannot become a partner. Again, a minor cannot be entered into. क्या क्या इसमें बता रखे, who can be partners? Okay, so we have to write. And according to आप उसकी लिमिट भी बता दीजिए कि maximum according to the Companies Act 50% partners can be made. Yes, agreement. Partnership must be the result of an agreement. सबने लिखा है agreement between two or more persons. There must be an agreement entered into by all the persons concerned. This element relate to voluntary contractual nature is voluntary. ये आपकी जबरदस्ती की नहीं बनती, voluntary होती है. अगर बन गई तो आपको इसको contract करना पड़ेगा. Business. कोई बिजनेस के लिए करते हैं ना, इंक्लूड्स एवरी ट्रेड, ऑक्यूपेशन, प्रोफेशन is essential. Secondly, the motive of the business is acquisition of gain. Okay, so we have to read the answer carefully. Agreement to share profits, business carried by on or acting for all. Just read it. Maybe this question can come in your examination. कुछ भी हो सकता है, तो just read it. Yes, Vansh, correct. Very good. Arnav is also given the answer correct. Arnav, आपने इतनी लेट क्यों ज्वाइन किया? Now 5 points you have written for 6 marks. Okay, 6 marks का क्वेश्चन है. इसको पॉइंटर्स में लिख के आइए, हेडिंग्स लगा दीजिए, अंडरलाइन कर दीजिए डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पॉइंट में. ओके, नाउ मूविंग टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. Rajnikant agrees to sell some specific goods coming on a ship named Titanic to Chiranjeevi. रजनीकांत ने क्या किया? Agrees to sell some specific goods कि शिप पे आएंगे, then I will send to it to Chiranjeevi, which will be delivered on arrival of Titanic. Arrived at the port, but goods were not found on the ship. Chiranjeevi had to procure the goods from open market at higher price. Afterwards, Chiranjeevi sued Rajnikant for recovery of extra payment he made for goods. Maybe he has purchased goods for 50,000, but उसको open market से 60,000 में खरीदने पड़े, तो extra payment के लिए he wants. State with reasons whether Rajnikant is liable to compensate Chiranjeevi under the provisions of the Sales of Goods Act. ये आपका देखिए Sales of Goods Act का mention कर रखा है. 4 marks का question है. Write the answer whether the Rajnikant is liable to compensate Chiranjeevi under the provisions of the Sales of Goods Act, and if liable or not, please write the relevant provision in 1 mark. I am giving you 1 minute. 3, 5, 3, 6 tak. Just write the answer. And Sandeep, now it's fine. It is fine, beta. Sandeep, I have increased the font. Now tell me the answer. Oh, I have opened the screen of the answer. Proper तरीके से we will write answer to A first. Yes, many of the students has written the correct answer. Now we will see the answer from here also. Section 6(2) of the Sales of Goods Act provides the acquisition of goods which depends upon uncertain contingencies are called contingent goods. Okay? कि हमें goods खरीदने हैं but it depends on uncertain contingency. So whether it is called the contingency goods. हमने starting में पढ़ा था ना unit 1 types of goods existing specific future. Okay? Ascertained, unascertained and contingent. So this is the category. Contingent goods also operate as an agreement to sell and not a sale. Okay? So far as the question of passing of property to the buyer is concerned. In other words, like the future goods, in the case of contingent goods also, the property does not pass to the buyer at the time of making the contract. In the instant case, there was an agreement between Rajnikant. ये हमने क्या लिखा? Provision. And question कितने का था ये? 4 marks का. तो 4 में से आपके अराउंड 2 to 3 marks आपके प्रोविजन के ऊपर हो सकते हैं. Maybe 2, maybe 3. In the instant case, there was an agreement between Rajnikant. ये हमने facts लिख दिया. Then, on the basis of above provisions and facts, it is clear that the goods under the agreement were contingent goods and the agreement between this was an agreement to sell and not a sale. The property in goods will be passed only after arrival of goods. As there was no sale between them, Chiranjeevi cannot recover extra payment he made for goods. Okay? Like this, you have to answer. Chiranjeevi cannot recover extra payment he made for goods. समझ में आ रहा है? सौरभ एक और क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. सौरभ परचेज्ड इलेक्ट्रिक स्कूटर ऑफ विवेक फॉर ₹5,000 ओनली ऑन द गन पॉइंट. Vivek decided to file the complaint and to avoid the contract on the basis of coercion applied against him by Saurabh. But before he could do that, Saurabh sold the scooter to Vinay, who had no idea about the situation on which the scooter was purchased by Saurabh. Vivek sued Saurabh and Vinay for recovery of scooter. Saurabh ने क्या किया? विवेक से खरीदा 5,000 रुपीज में, ठीक है। देन विवेक कंप्लेन कर दी, बट बिफोर ही कुड डू, सौरभ ने इसको किसको भेज दिया? विनय को। ओके, Vivek sued Saurabh and Vinay for recovery of scooter, referring to the provision of the Sales of Good Act, whether Vivek was correct in his decision. Just tell me the answer, beta. Tell me the answer. इसी पे चला दो. Yes. Yes, many of the students has written correctly. By virtue of provisions of Section 29 of the Sales of Goods Act 1930, a buyer would acquire a good title to the goods sold to him by the seller who had obtained possession of the goods under a contract voidable on the ground. अब देखो, इसमें voidable and सारा contract act का भी था, but since the question is with respect to Sales of Goods Act, so we have to write accordingly. Okay, by virtue of provisions of Section 29, a buyer would acquire a good title to the goods sold by him. अगर मैंने किसी से goods खरीदे on the force, coercion पे, undue influence पे, but मैंने उसको good faith में I have sold to some buyer, तो that buyer का है, that buyer will get the good title. Okay, in according to the above provisions, even Saurabh purchased the electric scooter by applying coercion. Vinay got good title as he was an innocent buyer and purchased the scooter before setting aside the contract by Vivek. However, Vivek may claim damages only from Saurabh. Okay? Now, two question, ये आपका था application oriented. These two types questions are K and C. Explain the nature of shares under the Companies Act with reference to legal provision of shareholders, treatment as movable property, and requirement of numbering. We will look the answer. Yes, nature of shares. Section 284 of the Companies Act 2013 defines the term share, which means a share in the share capital of a company and includes stock. A share thus represents such proportion of interest of shareholder as the amount paid up thereon to BS to total capital payable to the company. Okay, तो हमसे nature of shares पूछा था, whether share is an interest in the company. यहाँ पे देखो, we have written a case law also. तो अगर आपको case law याद है तो you can write, otherwise you can simply state the facts. That a share is not a sum of money, but it is an interest measured by a sum of money and made up of various rights contained in the contract, including the right to a sum of money or more or less amount. The shareholders are not, in the eyes of law, part owners of the undertaking. The undertaking is somewhat different from the totality of the shareholders. The rights and obligations attaching to are those prescribed by the memorandum and articles. Then shares are a movable property. Movable property आपको पता है क्या होती है? Shares shall be numbered. यहाँ पे आपको अगर सेक्शन नंबर याद नहीं है तो आप मत लिखिए, अदरवाइज आप लिख सकते हो कि shares are the movable property transferable in the manner, and shares shall be, every share in a company having a share capital shall be distinguished by its distinctive number. This share shall be numbered. Okay. Now discuss the provision. आपको बच्चों किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो meanwhile you can ask me. Discuss the provisions of the LLP Act 2008 relating to partner in LLP. Okay, ये 3 क्वेश्चंस हमसे पूछे गए हैं. The eligibility and disqualification of a person to become a partner, the minimum number of partners required and the consequences of reduction below the statutory limit, and the concept of designated partners, including the requirement of having a resident designated partner. इसका आप क्वेश्चन देखिए. हमसे पूछा गया है कि व्हाट इज द एलिजिबिलिटी, कि कब पार्टनर बन सकता है, कब डिस्क्वालीफाई हो सकता है, मिनिमम कितने पार्टनर्स चाहिए और डेजिग्नेटेड पार्टनर का क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है. जस्ट रीड द प्रोविजंस. पढ़ लिया आपने? यस. पार्टनर्स. As per Section 5 of the LLP Act, an individual or body corporate may be partner in LLP. However, an individual shall not be capable of becoming a partner if he has been sound of unsound mind. ठीक है, इंडिविजुअल होना चाहिए, बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट होना चाहिए, बट एक इंडिविजुअल कब कैपेबल नहीं होता? इफ ही इज फाउंड टू बी ऑफ अनसाउंड माइंड. ये सारा हमने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट में पढ़ा है. अनडिस्चार्ज इंसॉल्वेंट और अप्लाई टू बी एडजुडिकेटेड एज एन इंसॉल्वेंट एंड एज एप्लीकेशन इज पेंडिंग. ये हमने पढ़ लिया पार्टनर्स के बारे में. Now, minimum number of partners. Every LLP shall have at least 2 partners. 2 partner होने चाहिए. If any time the number of partners is reduced below 2 and the LLP carries on business for more than 6 months, ये आपका provision आपको 6 लगाना है. While who is the only partner of LLP during the time it so carries? Designated partner. Every LLP shall have at least 2 designated partners who are individuals and at least one of them shall be resident in India. ठीक है. पार्टनर्स एंड डेजिग्नेटेड पार्टनर्स में क्या डिफरेंस होता है? पार्टनर्स जो हमारे जैसे एज ए कंपनी का हमने एग्जांपल लिया, तो कंपनी में हमारे मेंबर्स हमारी कंपनी बनाते हैं, बट मैनेज कौन करता है? डायरेक्टर्स. सो द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट हेयर. पार्टनर्स आपकी एलएलपी बनाएंगे, बट उसको चलाता कौन है? डेजिग्नेटेड पार्टनर्स. रेजिडेंट इन इंडिया का लिख दिया. देन रेजिडेंट इन इंडिया में हमारा ये क्लॉज भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. द टर्म मीन्स अ पर्सन हु स्टेड इन इंडिया फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ नॉट लेस देन 120 days ड्यूरिंग द फाइनेंशियल ईयर. Okay. Now, question number 3. XYZ are partners in a firm named XYZ and Company. Timber is used in the business of the firm in the ordinary course of business. While with intention to deceive W, a timber dealer purchased timber on behalf of XYZ and company. Y uses the timber for construction of his own building. W has no idea that Y purchased the timber for his own use and claim for payment. Refuses the payment, never received by it. Whether the firm is liable to pay the price of the timber. Okay, XYZ एक कंपनी है, इसमें Y ने क्या करा, डीलिंग कर ली ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ XYZ बट यूज इट फॉर पर्सनल यूज. तो अब इसमें बताओ फर्म इज लाइबल, और मुझे आप थोड़ा सा प्रोविजन भी लिख के बताओ. यस डियर स्टूडेंट्स. यस. यस मंजेश, वेरी गुड. अर्ना. ओके, नाउ वी विल सी द आंसर. Section 19, 1 and 22 deal with the implied authority of a partner. The impact of these sections is that the act of the partner which is done to carry on in the usual way business of the kind carried on by the firm binds the firm. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हमें ये सब फैक्ट्स देखने हैं. कौन कौन सी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस होती हैं. द अथॉरिटी ऑफ अ पार्टनर टू बाइंड द फर्म इज कॉल्ड हिज implied authority. The act must done to relate to the usual business. अगर उसने usual business करा है, यहाँ पे usual business क्या था, टिम्बर. डन फॉर नॉर्मल कंडक्ट, नॉर्मल कंडक्ट है आपका. द एक्ट टू बी डन इन द नेम ऑफ द फर्म, XYZ के नाम पर ही करा है. एंड मैनी एनी अदर एक्सप्रेसिंग और इम्प्लाइंग एन इंटेंशन टू बाइंड द फर्म. Thus, a partner has implied authority to bind the firm by all acts done by him in all matters connected with the partnership business and which are done in the usual way and are not in their nature beyond the scope of partnership. So, in the instant case, as timber is of ordinary use, the firm has to pay the price of the timber to W. And now your answer is correct. अब second question क्या था इसका? Whether the answer be different in case part of the timber so purchased was delivered to him and the rest was used by Y for his personal use, which was not in the knowledge of firm and W. The answer will be same part of timber so purchased was delivered to firm and rest was used by WY for his personal use, which was not in the knowledge. Answer will be the same, that firm is liable. Okay? तो ये आपका कितने मार्क्स का था, 7. ओके, 7 में से अराउंड 3 to 4 मार्क्स का आपका प्रोविजन होगा. बाकी ये दिस इज द आंसर, 3 to 4 मार्क्स का आंसर. नाउ मूविंग टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 3B. No Limit Private Limited is incorporated as unlimited company having share capital of 10,000. One of its creditors, Mr. Samuel, filed a suit against a shareholder, Mr. Innocent, for recovery of his debt against No Limit Private Limited. Mr. Innocent has given his plea in the court that he is not liable as he is just a shareholder. Explain whether Samuel will be successful in recovering his dues. Tell me the answer, beta. Yes, this is the unlimited company. Share capital of 10,000. Okay. One of its creditors, Samuel, ने क्या करा? एक suit file करा shareholder Innocent for recovery of his debt against this. Innocent ने क्या बोला? That he is not liable as he is just a shareholder. अब हम अनलिमिटेड लाइबिलिटी की अनलिमिटेड कैपिटल जो आपकी होती है कंपनी उसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Section 92 of the Companies Act provides that an unlimited company means a company not having any limit on the liability of its members. The liability of each member extends to the whole amount of the company's debts and liabilities, but he will be entitled to claim contribution from other members. In case the company has share capital, the articles of association must state the amount of share capital and the amount of each share. The official liquidator may call the members for their contribution towards the liabilities and debts of the company, which can be limited. Okay, as the company is a going concern, जब तक कंपनी चल रही है, the liability is the only liability which when we जब हमारी liquidation में चली जाएगी, when the company is going on the liquidation winding up, only then अभी तक तो हमारी उसकी पर्सनल लाइबिलिटी हो जाती है, बट अगर कंपनी इज नॉट इन वाइंडिंग अप देन द his liability, the shareholder liability is limited to the share capital he was having. On the basis of above, it can be said that Mr. Samuel cannot directly claim his dues shareholder as the company, even the company is in unlimited, because his unlimited liability will arise only when official liquidator calls the members for their contribution towards the liabilities and the debts of the company at the time of winding up. Okay? Yes. A company registered under Section 8 change in the management structure. Few members contended that they were entitled to receive dividend. Section 8 company hai, 5 years se it is making profit. Now it is making dividends. Can the company distribute dividend? If yes, what is the maximum percentage of dividend that can be distributed as per the provision? Also to discuss the, along with other 14 days notice. अब आप थोड़ा सा बाद में पढ़ोगे कि जनरल आपकी मीटिंग करते हैं उसको नोटिस देना पड़ता है. 14 डेज का नोटिस दिया तो क्या ये वैलिड है? बताओ बेटा, इसका आंसर मुझे बताओ. whether the company can pay dividend? First question is this, and second, notice. Yes, Manjesh, your previous answer was absolutely correct. Bindia, your answer related to unlimited capital is slightly correct, partially. Arnav, Section 8 company and notice, very good. So fast, Arnav has given his answer. Note, Manjesh, your answer 1 is pending. Pooja, both answers correct. Now, आंसर देख लेते हैं हम एक बारी. सबने सही आंसर दिया तो everybody is aware. A company registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act is prohibited from the payment of any dividend to its members. Hence, the contention of members to distribute dividend from the profit earned is wrong. Also, Section 8 company is allowed to call a general meeting by giving 14 days instead of 21 days. So this is the answer. Very short answer. हमें रेलिवेंट लिखना है. वी आर नॉट हेयर टू मेक स्टोरीज. ओके. यस. On the basis of mode of formation, contract can be classified into different types. Explain the various kinds of contract: express, implied, quasi, e-contracts. Now, please read the answer. एक बारी आप सब आंसर पढ़ लीजिए. Yes. Express contract. एक बारी मैं I'm just reading it again. A contract would be an express contract if the terms are expressed by words or in writing. Section 9 of the Indian Contract Act provides that if the proposal or acceptance of any promise is made in words, the promise is said to be express. Implied. Implied contracts, in contrast, come into existence by implication. For express contract क्या होते हैं? जिसमें हमारी terms expressed होती हैं. Okay? Written होंगी. By words or in writing. Implied come into existence by implication. Most often the implication is by action or conduct of the parties or course of dealing between them. ओके. ये हमारा टैसिट का एग्जांपल दे रखा है. टैसिट एंड इम्प्लाइड में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस ये होता है कि टैसिट में हमारा कंडक्ट, जैसे हमारा दोज दैट आर इन्फर्ड थ्रू द कंडक्ट ऑफ द पार्टीज विदाउट एनी वर्ड स्पोकन. जैसे लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल कुली, एटीएम, ये सारे हमारे टैसिट के एग्जांपल्स हैं. ओके. नाउ क्वासी. क्वासी इज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. जैसे लॉस्ट एंड फाउंड का केस हो गया, मुझे वॉलेट मिला, तो दिस इज द क्वासी. दिस इज माय ड्यूटी टू गिव द वॉलेट टू द जिस बिलोंग टू दैट. रिजेंबल्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. इट इज क्रिएटेड बाय लॉ अंडर सर्टन circumstances. The law creates and enforces such legal rights and obligations when no real contract exists. E-contracts, when a contract is entered into by two or more parties using electronic means. ये क्या कहलाता है? ई-कॉमर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. ये सारा आप इस पे लिख के आ सकते हो. सच एज ईमेल्स इज नोन एज ई-कॉमर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. डिफरेंट पार्टीज पर्सन क्रिएट नेटवर्क विच आर लिंक टू अदर नेटवर्क्स. ओके. बिजनेस थ्रू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड से जैसे हम कोई बिजनेस करते हैं, दीज आर नोन एज ईडीआई और साइबर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और माउस क्लिक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. आपका इस लाइन के ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन बन सकता है. ईडीआई, साइबर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, माउस क्लिक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. नाउ मूविंग टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. Rahul is manufacturer of jute bag. He contracted with Sonia to purchase raw jute for the purpose of making bags. Rahul एक jute bags बनाता है. Okay. He contract with Sonia to purchase. उसने raw jute खरीदने के लिए सोनिया से डिस्कस किया. Rahul informed Sonia that production process of jute bags would start from this date. But Sonia must supply raw jute this 2 days before तक उसके पास jute आ जाना चाहिए, raw jute. So the quality verifications can be done in next 2 days. Sonia supplied the jute on this and informed Rahul that she could not supply on. सोनिया ने इसको मैसेज करा कि 27 को ही मैं पे कर पाऊंगी 25 की जगह, ड्यू टू सम अनअवॉइडेबल रीजन. जैसे लाइक नाउ डेज द रेन इज गोइंग ऑन, दिस इज अनअवॉइडेबल रीजन. But she also assured that quality measures were not anyway compromised in supplies. But Rahul wanted to avoid the contract as he was not given opportunity to examine the goods. अब इसका बताओ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, वेदर राहुल कैन अवॉइड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, और इसका प्रोविजन बताओ व्हाई और व्हाई नॉट. टेल मी द आंसर. टेल मी द आंसर बच्चे. पूजा, प्रीति. प्रीति आप अभी अभी आए हो. अर्णव, मंजेश, ध्वनि, बिंदिया, जस्ट राइट द आंसर्स. थक गए? थकेंगे बिकॉज 3 आवर्स का पेपर हम विद इन 2 आवर्स और विद 1.5 आवर्स में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. वेरी गुड अर्णव. अर्णव, वेबसाइट से तो नहीं देख रहे हैं आंसर्स? ऑल द आंसर्स आर करेक्ट. अर्णव, वेरी गुड. चलो, मूविंग टू आंसर. यस, परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. अर्णव ने लिखा सेक्शन 37. वेरी गुड. Fulfillment of obligations to the contract according to section 37 of the Indian Contract Act. The parties to a contract must either perform or offer to perform their respective promises unless such performance is dispensed with or excused under the provisions of the Contract Act or any other law. Further, the promisee should have a reasonable opportunity to see that the things offered is the things contracted for, otherwise performance cannot considered as valid performance. ओके. इन द इंस्टेंट केस, ये हमने सारा केस बता दिया, इसको आप ब्रीफ में भी लिख सकते हो. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ फैक्ट्स ऑफ द केस, राहुल वाज नॉट गिवन अ प्रॉपर अपॉर्चुनिटी टू एग्जामिन द गुड्स. राहुल को अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली. ओके, दिस कैन नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज वैलिड परफॉर्मेंस बाय सोनिया, हेंस राहुल कैन अवॉइड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. ओके, तो इस तरह से हमें अपने आंसर्स की प्रेजेंटेशन करनी है. यस, पूजा. Now, for a second, Kajal, wife of Ajay, is lunatic. Lunatic matlab unsound mind, insane. Okay. She purchased a diamond set of 15 lakh from a famous jewelers on credit. The jewelers demanded the payment from her husband Ajay. The jewelers filed suit against Ajay for recovery of price of diamond sets, referring to the provisions of Indian. Decide whether the jewelers is entitled to claim the price from Ajay. ओके. एक आपको पता है कि अनसाउंड माइंड के साथ हमारा जो प्रोविजन होता है वो अवॉइड अब इश्यू होता है स्टार्टिंग से, बट उसके केस में क्या क्या फैसिलिटीज हैं जो उनसे परचेज कर रहे हैं, शॉपिंग कर रहे हैं, उसके केस में भी आप आंसर बताओ मुझे. आई एम गिविंग यू 1 मिनट. अर्णव, प्लीज टेल मी द आंसर. वेदर द ज्वेलर इज एंटाइटल्ड टू क्लेम द प्राइस. ज्वेलर को पैसे मिलेंगे और नॉट. नॉट 15 लाख रुपीज का अमाउंट है. पूजा, ये तो मैंने आंसर्स आपको अभी बताए. पहले ये बताओ, ज्वेलर इज एंटाइटल्ड और नॉट. Okay, Arnav, very good. You have referred all the notes and assignments. Okay. Now the answer. We will look into the answer. By purview of provisions of Section 68 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, if a person incapable of entering into a contract or anyone whom he is legally bound to support is supplied by another person with necessaries suited to his condition in life, the person who has furnished such supplies and entitled to be reimbursed from the property of such incapable person. Okay, supplies of necessaries to a lunatic can be recovered from property belonging to lunatic. अब अगर हम उसको supply necessaries दे रहे हैं तो हम उसकी belonging से recover कर सकते हैं. In the instant case ये हमने देख लिया. Diamond set purchased by Kajal is not necessary. Hence the jewelers cannot recover. Arnav, your answer is incorrect here. Yes, Manjesh answer is correct. Yes, Bindia is also correct. अर्नव, आपने देख लिया बेटा, छोटा सा एरर था, बाकी अगर आप प्रोविजन लिख के आओगे करेक्ट तो आपका ओनली 1 मार्क विल बी डिडक्टेड फॉर इट. ओके अर्नव. यस, वेरी गुड. नाउ ये 2 क्वेश्चंस थ्योरेटिकल हैं. अंडर व्हाट सर्कमस्टांसेस इज प्रेजेंटमेंट फॉर पेमेंट ऑफ अ नेगोशिएबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट नॉट नेसेसरी? ओके, मैंने आपको बोला था ना नेगोशिएबल का क्वेश्चन आता है। ओके, आपका डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन भी आएगा। ये आपका सीएन के बेस्ड है और ये आपका एप्लीकेशन ओरिएंटेड। When presentment unnecessary, Section 76 of the NI Instrument in Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. ये दिस इज द, आप जस्ट एक बारी रीड कर लीजिए इसको। नो प्रेजेंटमेंट फॉर पेमेंट इज नेसेसरी, मैंने आपको बोला एक भी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन हमें स्किप नहीं करना, वी हैव टू रीड ऑल द आंसर्स। No presentment for payment is necessary and the instrument is dishonored at the due date for presentment in any of the following cases. If the maker, drawee or acceptor intentionally prevents the presentment of the instrument, or if the instrument being payable at his place of business, he closes such place during business. If the instrument being payable in some other specified place, neither he nor any person authorized to pay it attends at such place. Instrument not being payable at any specified place, he cannot do such be found. ये सारे आपके केसेस हैं। एज अगेंस्ट एनी पार्टी सॉट टू बी चार्ज देयर विद द नॉलेज ऑफ द इंस्ट्रूमेंट हैज नॉट बीन प्रेजेंटेड। ओके, ये सारा हमें एक बार आप रीड कर लीजिए इसको प्रॉपर, सो कैन वी मूव फॉरवर्ड। CNK मतलब नॉलेज एंड कॉम्प्रीहेंशन। एक दो तरह के क्वेश्चन होते हैं, A&A एप्लीकेशन ओरिएंटेड, डायरेक्ट थ्योरेटिकल क्वेश्चंस को हम कहते हैं जिसमें आपकी नॉलेज चेक की जाती है। ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट एंड हाई कोर्ट इन द इंडियन जुडिशरी? ये आपका आ गया फ्रॉम चैप्टर 1। Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the apex body. Apex body मतलब top. Okay. It was established on 26 January 1950. The Chief Justice of India is the highest authority. The principal bench of the Supreme Court consists of 7 members, including the Chief Justice of India. The numbers has increased to 34. ये सारी आपको लिख के आने, individual can seek by filing a writ petition under Article 32. High Court, highest court of appeal in each state. सुप्रीम कोर्ट आपकी पूरी इंडिया की होती है एक, हाई कोर्ट आपकी हर स्टेट में होती है, एंड द यूनियन टेरिटरी इज द हाई कोर्ट। देयर मस्ट बी हाई कोर्ट इन ईच स्टेट। हाई कोर्ट हैज अपीलेट ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। देयर आर 25 हाई कोर्ट्स, वन फॉर ईच स्टेट एंड यूनियन टेरिटरी एंड वन फॉर ईच स्टेट एंड यूनियन टेरिटरी। ओके, फाइव ए, Anant needs an air conditioner for his room. For this purpose, he approaches Mrs. Messrs. Frontline Electronics. एक उसने कंपनी को शॉप को परचेज अप्रोच किया। द सेल्स मैनेजर ऑफ दिस कंपनी, दिस इलेक्ट्रॉनिक शॉप, that its technician will visit the room of Anant and there are after they will suggest the AC suitable for his room, कि उसके रूम के लिए कौन सा AC suitable है, he will come and guide. After visiting the room, the technician suggests a split AC of 1 ton capacity will be sufficient. उसने परचेज कर लिया। After some time, Anant found that AC is insufficient, कि कूलिंग कम है। Now Anant wants to avoid the contract. इसका बताइए। Electronic denies. उसने बोला returning or changing the AC is AC installed and returning or changing will result a heavy loss to it. Okay, they can avoid the contract after installation. इसका मुझे बताइए आंसर along with the provision. Preeti, you can skip the articles in the above question, above answer, like Supreme Court, उसमें articles of constitution is mentioned, you can skip. Sorry. Come with your answers. Short में लिख दो बेटा. Just write in one line. Anant can avoid or cannot or why. चलो हम आंसर देख लेते हैं, अभी आंसर आया नहीं है अपन। Yes, Anand, very good. Short and sweet answer he has written. According to section 16(1) of the Sales of Goods Act, there is implied condition on the part of the seller that the goods supplied shall be reasonably fit. Okay, तो ये आपके रीजंस है किन किन सर्कमस्टांसेस द बायर शुड हैव मेड नोन. अनंत ने सेलर को बता दिया कि क्या उसका पर्टिकुलर पर्पस था. द बायर शुड रिलाई ऑन द स्किल एंड जजमेंट. द गुड्स मस्ट बी ऑफ डिस्क्रिप्शन डेल्ट इन बाय द सेलर वेदर ही बी अ मैन्युफैक्चरर और नॉट. On the basis of above provisions, undoubtedly Anand purchases AC only on the suggestion of electronics. AC is not fit and suitable for the room area of this, hence he can avoid the contract. AC, the shopkeeper has to replace the AC or whatever damages the full amount of AC. अगर उसको change करवाना है, अगर he is denying, तो he can sue also. Yes, these are both C and K. So I'm not discussing in detail because time is very less. On the dissolution of the firm, what are the rights and obligations of partners under the Indian Partnership Act with respect to rights to have the business wound up, continuing authority, application of firms. ये देखें हम partnership में. Yes. Right of partners to have business wound up 46, continuing authority 47 and payment of debts and separate debts. ओके तो इसका आप एमटीपी में से डिटेल में जरूर आंसर देख लीजिए. मे बी दीज टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आर कमिंग. ओके. Second, define the contract of guarantee under the Indian Contract Act. Also explain the essential features of a valid contract. Contract of guarantee. Section 126 of the Indian Contract Act. Contract of guarantee, surety, principal, creditor and essential features of a guarantee. ये सारे आपके सब कुछ इसमें कवर्ड है. एक बारी रीड कर लीजिएगा. Yes. 6A. Nakul made promissory note in favor of Sahadev of 10,000 and delivered to him. Nakul ने एक promissory note बनाया. Sahadev endorsed the promissory note in favor of Arjun but delivered to Arjun agent. Subsequently, Arjun agent died and the promissory note was found by Arjun in his agent table drawer. Arjun sued Nakul for the recovery of the promissory note. ठीक है. ये देखो नेगोशिएबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट एक्ट का पूरा नाम लिखा हुआ है पर दा जरूर लगा देना. इट्स इनकम्प्लीट. अकॉर्डिंग टू सेक्शन 48 हमने लिखा a promissory note bill of exchange check payable to a order is negotiable by a holder by endorsement and delivery thereof. ये हमने डिलीवरी बता दिया. एक्चुअल डिलीवरी, कंस्ट्रक्टेड डिलीवरी. ओके. Therefore, since there was valid endorsement and delivery, हमने कंस्ट्रक्टेड डिलीवरी क्या होती है? टेक प्लेस व्हेन द इंस्ट्रूमेंट इज डिलीवर्ड टू द एजेंट, क्लर्क और सर्वेंट ऑफ द एंडोर्सी ऑन हिज बिहाफ. आफ्टर एंडोर्समेंट होल्ड द इंस्ट्रूमेंट. अगर हमने किसी को एजेंट को दे दिया तो ये आपकी वैलिड एंडोर्समेंट मानी जाएगी. Arjun has become the holder of the promissory note and is entitled to recover the amount from Nakul. Okay, so ये आपके 7 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है. इसके हिसाब से आपको प्रोविजन लिखना है एंड आंसर. ये these two types of questions are, अगर in the starting one student is saying that name of the act is not written, बेटा but यहाँ पे देखो सेल का लिखा है तो it is implied seller in an auction sale है, that means सोगा के ऊपर this is based. These two type questions. Okay, just read it from the MTP. Right of a person to act done with him without his authority, effect of ratification. ऑक्शन सेल के ऊपर आजकल काफी हॉट चल रहा है, क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं. तो इसमें आपका कंप्लीशन, प्रिटेंडेड बिडिंग, सिर्फ 3 पार्ट्स पूछे थे इसके अंदर. व्हेन इज द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ सेल इन ए कंप्लीट, तो हमने इसका बता दिया. कंप्लीशन, द सेल इज कंप्लीट व्हेन द ऑक्शनियर अनाउंसेस इज कंप्लीशन बाय द फॉल ऑफ हैमर. ओके. व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट ऑफ प्रिटेंडेड बिडिंग? प्रिटेंडेड बिडिंग, अभी हमने चीज डिस्कस की थी कि हमें सारे प्रोविजंस लिख के नहीं आने, वॉट एवर इज द रेलिवेंट. तो इसमें हमसे 3 पॉइंट्स पूछे हैं, सो वी आर राइटिंग ओनली 3 पॉइंट्स. सेलर रिजर्व अ राइट टू बिड एट हिज ओन ऑक्शन. राइट टू बिड में भी रिजर्व, ये सारा हमने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया. ओके. तो हमने ऑल द 6 क्वेश्चंस वी हैव कंप्लीटेड टुडे. नाउ Yes. So, just seeing the answers. Yes, Akshit. Okay, Pooja, correct answer. Very good. All the students has given the correct answers. Okay. So now this is the last interaction. Now we will meet all of you in the intermediate. Okay. We are also taking sessions of intermediate. So we have to clear all the revisions, practicing the questions. In we are having very less time, 10 to 12 days time, but do not nervous. You have done a lot of practice. Okay, you have done a lot of revision, so just remain focused, do not panic, take a healthy diet, okay, take proper sleep, but revision and practice, these two things just keep in mind. Okay, all the very best. Thank you. Technical team, please end the session.